This channel is all about life and money organization, which means most of my videos have to do with budgeting, saving, and getting out of debt. However, sometimes I will look in my comments and I will see something along the lines of how you feel as though my tips or strategies may not be able to assist you because you have a low income. So today we're going to be talking about different things that you can do to still reach your financial goals even if you have a low income. Let's go ahead and get started. My first tip is to pay attention to your money every single day. I remember when my income was low, when I had a part-time job and I was making like $300 a check. I didn't believe that I needed to budget that money. It really wasn't that much. I didn't have a bunch of bills at the time and I didn't feel like it was going to stretch that long anyway. So why do I need to budget this money? But my mom did teach me that I needed to write down where my money was going no matter how much I made. So even if I got $100 as a gift for my birthday or $300 from a part-time job, I was always consistently writing down how much I had and writing down every time I spent money. It helped me develop the budgeting habits that I would need as I got older. So even if you have a low income and you don't feel like you have enough to cover all of your bills, you need to write down where your money is going. Because this is the time that you need to pay attention to your money the most. Every single dollar matters. You don't have money to waste. And when you get into the routine of looking at your money every single morning, you will be surprised at how much you start learning about yourself and your overall money habits. So I like to do this routine in the morning. I'll wake up, I pull out my planner, I get a cup of coffee, and then I go through all of my bank transactions from the previous day, and then I will categorize them. Just doing this one small step that takes me about 10 minutes makes a huge difference in how my money flows. So even with a low income, this quick morning habit where you're looking at your transactions, you're categorizing them, will help you really start to pinpoint the little things that you could possibly change and really help you achieve your financial goals. Tip number 2 is to reflect on why your income might be low. Low income is usually the result of one of 3 things: location, opportunity, or skill. If it's location, maybe you live in an expensive area like New York or California. Or it could be opportunity. You've gotten comfortable with where you are, or there's no upward mobility where you currently work. Or it could be skill. Maybe you're just starting out and you don't have the current skill level, the current experience to ask for more money. But you really need to zone in on what's causing your income to be low. If it's location, maybe you want to move outside of the city, live in an area that's not so expensive. If it's opportunity, update your resume, look and see what other things are out there in your field. And if it's skill, then you want to start reading books and looking at courses that you could possibly take to increase your skill level. Either way, you want to continuously be moving in the right direction, continuously looking at ways to increase your income. In Monday's video, we talked about 3 ways to make money while you sleep, so make sure that you check that one out to help you increase your income. Tip number 3 is to widen the gap. One of the best things that you can do when your income is low is widen the gap. The gap is the amount, the difference between your income and your expenses. You want your expenses to be no more than 70% of your overall income. Meaning if you make $1,000, then you want your expenses to be no more than $700. Now, if your income is low, then this can definitely be challenging. And if you're looking at your expenses and there's nothing else to cut, then definitely refer back to number 2 and look for ways to increase your income. Because the reality of it is, widening the gap is better than making more money. Let's think about it. If you make $3,000 and you spend $2,900, then your gap is $100. But if you make $1,000 and you spend $700, your gap is $300. You get to save more, do more. You have more of a range with your money because you have $300 left over instead of the person who makes more than you and have $100 left over. We can definitely always work on increasing your income, but if you increase your expenses as well, it won't make that much of a difference. So make sure that you're looking at that percentage. What's the difference between your income and your expenses? And you want to keep it in between 50 and 70%. Tip number 4 is to save a little, not a lot. Usually my standard tip across the board when it comes down to saving is to tell people to save 10% of their income. However, if you have a low income, you may not want to start at 10%. Depending on how wide your gap is, saving 10% of your income might not really be feasible. This is why I usually suggest, if you have a lower income, to start with a little instead of trying to save a lot. Every single time you get paid, you want to start with something, but you want to start with a number that you're not going to miss out of your bank account. Why? Because the smaller the amount, the less likely you are to transfer it back before the next payday. When I was just starting out on my financial journey, I used to try and save $100 every single time I got paid. The issue was I always needed the money and always ended up transferring it back before my next payday, which means I actually didn't save anything. So what I started to do instead was transfer $10 every single time I got paid. Now, since this amount was $10 instead of $100, I never transferred it back because it was about the same amount I would spend on fast food. It wasn't a big amount. It wasn't anything that I could pay a bill with, so I left it there. Then it became a habit. I started out with $10, then I would transfer $20, then $25. Next thing you knew, I had gotten up to the number 100 without even realizing it. By the time I checked my savings account, I had over $1,300 without even really paying attention. And that's because saving became a second nature to me. It became a habit. And because I started small, it became really easy to do it. Start small, let it become a habit, let it become second nature, make sure that you put it in your money routine, and slowly but surely you will reach your financial goal. So that's my tips on what to do if you have a low income. If you want more videos on low income, make sure that you like this one, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. I would love to chat with you over on Instagram, so make sure that you follow me there, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.